good morning. Welcome back. So, we're going to take today a little bit slower, a little bit more gentle. We're going to focus a little bit longer, not for getting stronger or making those muscles contract, but we're going to stay in them to really help them lengthen, but lengthen with our breath, not forcing ourselves into them. So, take this as you want. If you want to go a little bit harder, it's up to you in your practice, but you'll be seeing that I'm taking a more gentle approach this morning. You get my morning voice. It's a little bit more rough than normal, so I apologize. I will have some light music on, however, I'm going to keep it soft because I want you to be able to hear my voice. And if you want to play any kind of soft music in the background for you to hear a little bit better, feel free. But let's start with a nice comfortable seat. So you could have a cushion to sit on, you could have a blanket, you could have nothing at all. Take that flesh away from your sits bones, really ground down, feel yourself root to the earth below. Lengthen through your crown so you're sitting up nice and tall. Feel those shoulders roll down and away. So I noticed as I just did this, I arched my back. Tuck that tailbone under. We want to keep that spine nice and straight. Continuing to lengthen, shoulders are dropping as we keep that straight spine. Closing your eyes if they're not closed already. Starting off with our palms facing down in a grounding fashion. Just taking a couple of breaths to allow ourselves to settle in. I want you to feel your body. Feel your soul. Feel your mind. Where is everything? We're being forced to slow down right now, but are we truly? So let that body settle in. Let's work on probably most of our challenging thing for most of us is our mind. So notice what's happening up here. Are you making to-do lists for the day ahead? Are you starting to wiggle here because you don't like to sit still? Try and find the stillness in the body so that we can work on finding the stillness in the mind. Releasing the third brow, because as we start to think more, we start to scrunch that brow. So allow it to release and soften. And for the time being, I want you to notice the chatter. I want you to notice everything that you're thinking about. Whatever it is that you have to get done today, whatever's happening in the outside world, I want you to notice it. And now that you've noticed it, now that you've acknowledged it, I want you to take an inhale. Allow that inhale to connect to those thoughts. Maybe it encompasses it in a bubble. And just like if we were to blow bubbles, on your exhale, blow those thoughts away. With each inhale, continue to form those bubbles around the thoughts. And on the exhale, blow them away. Do this as many times as you need until you're left with a clear slate, blank space. The only thing that's left is you and your mat, you and your practice. And once all the bubbles have been blown away, allow your focus to now fall upon the breath even more. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. And notice the way each inhale starts to get deeper. And each exhale begins to get longer. And you could keep your breath natural here. Or you could start that 3-part belly breath, that Dirga breath, inhaling through the nose, filling deeply into the belly, flowing up through the ribs and landing in the chest. And as you begin to find more awareness to your breath, you can let your palms flip on your legs. Your palms could face to the sky, leaving them open to taking in all of the universe's energy. Or you could cradle your hands in your lap, palms facing up. Really focusing on each inhale and each exhale, letting your mind continue to be clear of everything else. But if throughout our practice, that chatter begins to come back, and it will, form those bubbles around it with each inhale, and then exhale, blow it away. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, sit up a little bit taller, no arching that spine. Exhale, left ear falls to the left shoulder. So left shoulder falls down and away, breathing into the right side of your neck here. Right fingers could stay to the left, or they could walk out to the side. And reminding yourself that everything I offer are suggestions. So it's up to you to connect to your practice and give your body whatever it is that you need. The left hand could stay to your lap, or could wrap around the head, fingertips towards the ear. So as always, we're never pushing down on that head, but that light touch adds the slightest amount of pressure. That'll deepen the stretch. Keeping that jaw soft, just letting the side of that neck lengthen. On your next inhale, take your right hand back to your lap. Your left hand, if it's on your head or on your lap, slide it to the left side of your head. So we're not picking up our head by itself, we're pressing our head up with our hand, keeping it gentle. Once it comes up to center, you can release that left hand down. Notice a difference from left to right here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right ear falls to the right shoulder. Drop that right shoulder down, breathing into the left side of your neck. Left fingers could stay to the left, or they could walk out to the side. Feeling the way that those muscles are lengthening and releasing. But never going too far where you feel pain. Just stretch. Right hand could stay to the left, or it could be placed around the head, fingertips towards the ear. Keep that right shoulder down, so we don't want to creep it up. We want to keep it low. A lot of us have probably been on our phones too much, our computers too much. So we feel a lot of stress, a lot of tension in our back and our shoulders and our neck. So let's try and release that. Inhale, bring that left hand back to your left. Slide the right hand around to the right side of your head or pick it up off of your lap to place it to the right side. Slowly press that head up to center and lower your hand back down. See if your neck is starting to feel a bit more balanced, a bit more weight. Sweep your hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Drop your hands down your back. Shoulders drop, heart opens. Gaze can look up to wherever is comfortable. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Connect with those palms, lower your hands down to the heart. Take a moment here to set that intention for yourself. Set an intention for your day. Whatever that intention is, breathe into it. Set it in place within your heart. Extend that left leg out to the side. So we're going to get our side body stretch while also stretching through that left leg. Toes stay lifted to the sky. Your right leg is hugging in nice and close. Inhale, sweep wide. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm reaches over. So we're not reaching for those toes. We are keeping that heart nice and open. If you're turning your gaze up, you can see under that arm just so you know that that's where you should be. Left shoulder still stays down and away. And don't come to your full expression here. We're working with our breath, so with each exhale, you may dip down a little bit further. Keeping those breaths long. And as always, you can always inhale up and exhale down. Inhale, lift both hands up. Take your hands to the heart, lower them down. So slide that left leg in front. Pick your right knee up and step it to the outside. Toes face forward. Now we're going to bend that left leg. We're not stacking our knees right here. We're just keeping this toe forward. If it feels better out to the side, that's fine. This knee is up and your bottom knee wraps around. If it's more comfortable to keep it out, feel free. Inhale, sweep your left hand up by your left ear. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right leg. If you want to have that arm extended, you can. If you want to wrap it around your knee, you can. But I'm going to practice with the elbow to the outside of the knee. Right fingertips are behind the tail. Lengthen through your crown. Nice flexed hand here. Lengthen and twist. So I am pressing my arm into my thigh, turning my torso, gaze follows. Breathing deeply. Another inhale. Exhale, start to unwind. So we're going to come to fire log legs. So bring your left leg out in front, parallel foot is flexed. Right leg is going to stack right on top. If you're sitting on something, you may need to release off of it to let your hips be level. So both feet are flexed, stacked one on top of the other. If you do have your top leg lifted, you could take a blanket or a cushion and set it under it. If this is totally uncomfortable, come to a regular seated position with one leg in front. Fingertips are down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, staying here or with your breath, starting to walk yourself forward. Your hips may be tight, especially if you're doing a lot of seated computer work. So breathe into it. As always, never forcing your way down. And as you release into it, notice if you fight the pose, if you're a little bit tighter than you have to be. Inhale. And exhale, soften. See if you can melt into it. Maybe energetically you just soften. If you want to come to lift your torso, you can. I'm actually feeling more of a stretch this morning, sitting up, which normally I have when I'm folded down. So it's a matter of connecting to your body and honoring it, as always. Inhale. Exhale. Start to lift your torso up if you're laying down or folding forward. And now extend the legs out in front. And give them a little shake if that feels nice. Framing your legs, toes are lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, staying here or walking yourself forward. So if your toes start to fall here, try and keep the toes lifted to the sky. Fully flex so that we're really getting in through the foot, the back of the legs, in through the lower back. Walking yourself up. So we're going to work our way to the other side. So bending your left knee, you want it to be parallel with the front of your mat and stacking your left knee on top. So firelog legs, you have your feet flexed, stacked. Once again, if your knee is lifted, you could place a rolled up blanket, a block, a pillow under it. Adjusting yourself so both hips are connected to your mat. Inhale here. Exhale, you could fold or sitting up nice and tall, wherever it is that you find your best stretch this morning. Notice any chatters return back to your mind. A lot of times, the slower we move our body, the harder it is to slow the mind. So form those little bubbles around the thoughts on the inhale. Exhale, blow them away. Feeling the stretch in those outer hips. Starting to pick your torso up if you're folded down. And now we're going to come to that twist. So take your left knee and you're going to pick it up. Wrap your right knee around. So the left knee is lifted up. Toes face forward. Your right knee is bent, toes are out to the side. Right arm sweeps up. I'm bending the elbow, placing it to the outside of that left thigh. Fingers are nice and flexed. Fingertips behind the tail. Once again, you could wrap your arm around. You could take an open arm here. Whatever is best. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist that torso. Never leading with that gaze. Inhale. Exhale, start to unwind. So pick that left leg up and extend the right leg out to the side. Left leg is hugged in nice and close. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches over. So once again, we're coming to that side body stretch. Stretch starts at the hip, comes through that side body all the way up the fingertips. Keeping that heart nice and open, so even if you can't come down that far, that's fine. It's not about how far you go. There's no room for ego here. Feeling free to inhale up and exhale down. If there's anything else that you might need, like I just did an arm circle, to help my shoulder get into it a little bit better. Sometimes our joints are shaped kind of funky, so you have to work your way around into it rather than just picking your arm up. Inhale, bring both hands up, connect with the palms, lower your hands to the heart. So we're going to slide our legs around, come into a tabletop position. If you need a cushion for your knees, you can bring that blanket back. And just working through a couple of cow and cats here to finish off the 6 movements of the spine. So fingertips are down, toes are tucked down. Inhale, let that belly fall. Exhale, round. Inhale, down. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We are going to continue doing this as standing, but let's find our way to a down dog for a couple of breaths. Curl those toes. Lift the hips. Shoulders are down away from the ears, walking out your legs here. Bend one knee and then the other. Fingertips are spread wide. Fingers are pressing into the earth to release some of the strain in that wrist. Hips are lifting up as high as they can to the sky. Continuing to walk out those legs. Slowly start to walk your feet up to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly start to roll yourself all the way up to standing. Sweep the hands, Connecting at the palms, lower your hands to the heart, close your eyes, check in with yourself here. Allowing yourself to return to the breath. Return to your practice. Inhale, sweep the hands up, interlace the fingers, flip your palms up to the sky. So as you reach up, arch your back, turn your gaze slightly up. Exhale, rounding that spine, tuck your hips under. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale up. Connect at the palms, lower your hands to the heart. So step your left foot back, or whatever foot that faces towards me. So toes are going to face the corners of the mat. And we're going to float the arms out to a T. Drop those shoulders. Take the right arm on top of the left. We're coming to eagle arm, so you could grab your shoulders, option 1. Option 2, backs of your hands come together. Option 3, palms wrap around to meet. So bring the elbows up to chin height, shoulders drop down. And here I want you to start some movement, so close your eyes as you maybe move those arms side to side, opening up to the sky and rounding forward. Maybe you make some big circles. You're making those circles, reversing direction. Finding yourself to stillness. Drop those shoulders, palms reach away from the face. Inhale, reach the hands out. Exhale, drop your hands down. So turn your left toes, bringing your hands to your heart, turn your left toes to the back of your mat, or to the left side. Turn your right toes in, so finding a pyramid stance. You could take a shorter stance if that feels better. So your hips are squaring, left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. Inhale, lengthen through your crown. Exhale, start to fold over that leg. Keeping that back flat so we're not rounding here. Even if you only come a hair down, that's fine. Left hip continues to pull back. Gaze stays out in front. If you need a little help with your balance, using blocks, using books, maybe bringing your hands to your legs. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to allow ourselves to fold. So if your hands reach the floor, you can take it there. Once again, blocks are great, books. Left hip still pulls back. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. On your next lengthen, see if you can lift your left toes up. Feel that deep stretch through that calf. Dropping it down, walk yourself through center. Turn those toes to the corners of the mat. Soft bend to those knees as you roll all the way up. Inhale, sweep the arms out to a T. Exhale, left arm under the right. Yeah. So you can hug your shoulders, backs of your hands come together, palms come together. So once again, here you're in your eagle arms. You could sway side to side, open and close. All right, I think we have to switch it to the other side. You can make those big circles. Finding yourself back to center. Release the arms. Bring your hands to the heart center. So you're going to turn your right toes to the front of your mat. Turning your left toes in once again if you want to take a shorter stance. Squaring those hips. So the right hip is pulling back, left hip is drawing forward. Hands come to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, start to hinge forward. You may notice a difference from one side to the other. Trying to keep your spine nice and long, shoulders away from the ears. Having blocks or books ready, or just taking your hands towards the earth. Still trying to keep that back as straight as possible. You could always take your hands to your leg as well, inhaling, exhaling, folding. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, so that right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Inhale, lengthen. Try and lift those right toes up. Feeling that stretch maybe in your foot, through the back of that leg. Dropping that foot down, walk yourself through center, take your feet nice and wide, and find a fold. So here in your fold, you could stay just like this. Hands could be planted down, back could be flat. You could fold all the way over. You could walk your hands out, hips stay where they are. Walk your hands under. Grab the outsides of your feet. Coming to a flat back, so plant your hands down, come straight up. Walk yourself towards your left leg. Bending your left knee, you're going to sit your hips behind it. So you may take a wider stance here. Your right toes are going to lift towards the sky. So one thing that I've noticed that I used to do is I used to sit on my heel and my knee used to butt out to the side. So I am shifting my weight over, my heel drops, my hips don't don't drop down as high, and that's okay. But I'm not letting my knee go beyond my toes, so I have to make some adjustments sometimes. If you want to play with your balance, you could lift one arm up and then the other. Feeling that deep stretch, but you don't have to take it there. Not staying here long. Inhale, plant your hands. Exhale, lift those hips up. Drop the right foot down as we send the hips behind that right leg. Left toes are up and out to the side. Once again, if you want to play with that balance, lifting one hand and then the other. Inhale, drop your hands down. Exhale, come through center, fold. Heel toe your feet in. Soft bend to those knees, roll all the way up. Come back to the top of your mat if you're not there. Inhale, sweep wide. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, send the feet back. Drop your knees, release into the tops of your feet, and send those hips back. Come into a child's pose. Just allow yourself to melt down here. Your spine lengthens. The chatter releases. Inhale, start to lift your torso, sending your weight to one side. Sweep your legs around out front, scooching yourself to the center of your mat. So your hands are behind you, and you could take your hands, if you'd like, to behind the thighs as you slowly walk your hands down and your back down. Once your lower back connects to the earth, draw those knees in, gently rocking side to side. Bring your knees up parallel to the sky. We're going to take a twist here, so you can keep your legs like this, or you could cross the right leg on top of the left. Arms float out to a T, or maybe to cactus arms. Your cactus arms will allow the shoulders and the chest to stay open a little bit more, but to your comfort level. Making sure your coffee cups aren't nearby. Inhale. Exhale, let your knees fall to the left, so the right leg's on top, but the legs are falling to the left. Gaze can be up or over the right side. Inhale, bring those knees up. Release the legs. So once again, we're going to twist to the other side. So if you want to bring the left leg on top, you can. Inhale. Exhale, release them to the right. Come up through center, uncross your legs, and just extend your legs to the sky. So we're going to stay here for a little while. So if your knees are bent, that's okay. If you have a wall accessible to you and you want to bring your legs up a wall, you can do that as well. If you want to come into any other inversion, feel free. I'm going to show you the easiest way to get to a wall, to get your legs up a wall. So sometimes we can never get close enough. And you can stay through this through Shavasana if you want as well. So bring your left hip to a wall if that's where you're taking it. So my left hip is actually touching this wall. And then I'm just going to swing my legs up. And then I only have to shimmy the tiniest bit. But you don't have to do that unless you want to. Your legs could just be extended right here. And if you don't have, and if you're not using a wall and you want to make some point and flexes, some splits, whatever feels good, or just pausing in stillness. Slowly draw those knees in. If you're not using a wall, we're going to make our way to Shavasana. So if you are using that wall, feel free to let your legs stay there as long as comfortable. And then everyone else can just start to extend one leg out and then the other. Feet splay out to the side, placing on any extra layers you may need to stay comfortable. One arm walks out of the shoulder, palm faces up by your side, followed by the other. Close your eyes. Take an inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. 2 more. And 1 more. So just let yourself be here in the stillness. Everything is soft, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your scalp. Begin to deepen your breath. Slowly coming back to the present. Inviting small movement into the body, some wiggling of the fingers, wiggling of the toes, or rocking of the head from side to side. And if your legs are still up a wall, I would bring them slowly down. I like to come to butterfly first, so the bottoms of my feet come together, my knees splay out. Still against a wall, just to get some sensation back in. And then I slowly get off of the wall. For everyone else, begin to make your way to your right side, using one arm as a pillow, placing the other hand over your heart, knees draw up towards your chest. And pausing here. Take better care of yourself than you ever have before. That is what your heart is telling you to do. Those times of driving yourself, depriving yourself, not being gentle and loving with yourself will no longer work. Punishing, criticizing, repressing, and denying won't bring the feelings, the growth, the results you're seeking. The harder you push, the more you relentlessly demand perfection, the worse you'll feel. Fall in love with yourself. Be gentle, loving, kind, and attentive. Take time throughout each day to tend to your needs, just as you would tend to someone you've loved deeply and dearly. Loving and caring for yourself this way won't waste time. It's not a delay. Take better care of yourself and life's magic will return. Your life will improve. You'll feel better too. Taking care of yourself is a simple act with profound consequences. The better and more often you care for yourself, the more you'll align with the universe and God's love. Slowly begin to come to your last seated position. Finding hands to heart center and a gentle bow to your head. In this moment, say something nice to yourself. Maybe you tell yourself one thing on how you're going to take better care of yourself. Show love and gratitude to all those practicing with you this morning. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands come to the heart, praying to always love compassionately. Bring the thumbs to the lips, praying to always speak truthfully. Finishing off with our thumbs to the third eye, praying to always see clearly. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.